We are joined here today by Monkey, so I'm just gonna set him over here. Don't look at my nightstand, please, and thank you. Okay, now that's gonna be very distracting for you guys. But that's okay, we kind of need the positive energy here today because we are gonna be talking about some things that might make you a little angry. If it doesn't, that's fine. So a little while ago, years ago, I did a video called Mental Illness Merch. I, to this day, still get the most hate on that video. It's one of my most popular videos. And I get so much hate on it. I don't disable the comments, it's whatever. I still read some of them because some of them are entertaining, as you guys know, when I read funny hate comments. But generally, a lot of people were very upset that I even made that video, which puzzles me because I was talking about something that was very important in my opinion. Some of the major comments that I get, like every single day on that video, are people telling me what their mental illnesses are and that they're not offended by the merch. But basically a lot of people telling me I have a mental illness and I'm not offended. And that's not what this is about. This isn't about offending people who have mental illnesses. It is about people who don't have mental illnesses who see these things and think that it's okay to now make fun of mental illnesses. You get me? It's not about offending people, it's about telling people that it's okay to make light of something so serious. And granted, some people use humor to help cope with their mental illnesses, and that's totally fine. If some of that merch is funny to you and like you own it or you want to buy it, I'm not sitting here saying that you can't do that because we live in a free world. Just my point of view, I could never purchase, I mean, this is all my opinion, keep in mind. This is stuff that angers me. It doesn't mean that it has to anger every single person in the world. It doesn't mean that you can't use humor to help with your mental illnesses. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. I'm just saying from my perspective and my point of view, I think it sends the wrong message out into the world that it's something that's not to be taken seriously. To those people specifically who don't suffer from mental illness, I was gonna say or know someone, but everyone has either suffered with a mental illness or knows someone who has. That all being said, that's a huge disclaimer in the beginning of this video, I'm sorry, but I just think I wanted to say like what my perspective is of why these things are offensive and why, to me, I would never personally purchase these things. We're gonna start with a shirt that I actually found at Goodwill. That's kind of what I did in the last video. I started with something that I personally found and didn't enjoy, so yeah, this is what I found. It says I conquered anorexia. It is a men's like XXX, I think, and the joke here is that a large man would be mocking anorexia, saying that obviously he conquered it because he's overweight. If you don't get that joke, it kind of happened like 10 years ago or so when it was funny. So obviously it's at Goodwill now because like no one thinks that's funny anymore. I don't know unless you do. One of the things that I also got comments on the most is this kind of shirt, the stressed, depressed, but well dressed. It's a very common phrase. You found it everywhere in every single fashion store in the world. They would make a shirt like this, and a lot of people commented that as an expression or like that's something that they've heard. And this, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit. Like obviously it's, you know, making light of depression or the emotion of being depressed, but that's just it. Depressed is an adjective for an emotion. It's not always depression. So this one isn't as bad to me. So this is something that I found a while ago. There's a whole Instagram page that it's called Prescription Pillow. They're called Drug Snuggle RX, and I don't know if they do other medications, but they definitely do Xanax, and you know, I don't think this is cute. I don't know. Xanax is a popular prescription for treating anxiety, and that whole thing is kind of glamorized now. People talking about anxiety as an adjective that has nothing to do with the mental illness, which again, anxiety can be an emotion or a feeling without being diagnosed as anxiety. You know, you can say that you feel anxious, it doesn't mean you have anxiety. But Xanax definitely is a drug for anxiety. So for me, I'm just taking it literally that they are kind of making light of the whole trend of having anxiety. I don't know why it's a thing. A lot of this is just me being confused of why this stuff is made. A lot of these were also sent to me from you guys, this being one of them. It's a shirt that says personality disorder. I don't know why you would wear this on a shirt. That I don't know if it's like glorifying personality disorders, which that's a new thing because most of the time it's mood disorders that we're making fun of, but now we're going all the way to personality disorders, so that's a thing. This shirt isn't as terrible to me. It's just a cell phone obviously ringing and it says psychologist, so it's like you have your psychologist on speed dial or whatever they're trying to imply here, that you have a psychologist in your contacts. That's not a big deal to me. I don't know what's wrong with that. But as a shirt, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's trying to make fun of people who have psychologists in their phone or they're trying to normalize it. My guess is they're not doing the latter, but that's my take on this. This mug, I have an eating disorder. I'm about to eat disorder of fries, disorder of nachos, and disorder of wings. These are the kind of jokes that really bother me because obviously it's making light of an eating disorder. One of the main points that I made in the last video years ago was you would not find these things about cancer or, you know, those kind of diseases. So why are we doing it with mental illnesses? Like, I don't understand. It's not going to help anything. I think that's kind of my main point is like, yeah, they're lighthearted. They're not meaning to hurt people or to hurt the seriousness of mental illnesses. But they are indirectly. By making merchandise like this, it's saying to other people like, oh, it's funny, so it's okay. I'm gonna make that joke later at a party sometime and it's gonna go over really well. And maybe I'm reading way too into these things. That's another criticism I got, is that I'm just so sensitive. I'm just such a liberal feminist, SJW, like that's a lot what I got on that video. And I just, you know, I'm so overreacting to all these things. Maybe I am, and I admit to that, but just, you know, I take things like this so seriously. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just have an opinion and putting it out there on the internet, whereas this mug will actually be damaging to many people. Panic attacks are my cardio. Good for you, because that's fun. Panic attacks are always fun. Who needs to work out when you have an anxiety disorder? Why don't you just, you know, treat your panic attacks like a workout? Again, doesn't make sense why this would ever be created. Like, who approves these? Who says that that's funny or that's okay? Like, panic attack? Really? I have OCD, but I only clean things when I'm in the mood because I'm also bipolar. This is just a whole lot of wrong. This, you know, again, I'm reading into this a lot, but I feel like I need to break it down a little bit for you guys. This has so many stereotypes in it that are so damaging, it's not even funny. OCD in general is seen as the clean people, that they just clean everything. I'm so over that stereotype. I'm over it. I have a friend who has OCD and it's not like that. There are obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. There are two factors to this and you can have one without the other, surprise. And the bipolar stereotypes, don't even get me started on that. I feel like I need to do a whole video on psychological stereotypes that are so annoying because it's so frustrating, because the more and more we make these jokes and make this kind of clothing and merchandise that has these kind of stereotypes on it, the stronger they get. We're not breaking them down the more people make this merch. It keeps the uneducated people like just continuously reinforcing those ideas and stereotypes, and it's just so old at this point. Like, it's 2017. Like, let's keep it going. Let's start educating people on what these disorders actually are. The last one. If it does not anger you, I want you to unsubscribe, okay? So this is something that was tweeted out and they've since deleted the Twitter. I actually didn't screenshot their Twitter name, so I don't know who they are. We could probably find it, but I mean, you might have seen it floating around. It's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Probably not ever, but like, it's really, really dark and really bad, and there is a trigger warning here for suicidality, so just keep that in mind. But I'm going to show it to you, and you know, maybe it won't hurt you as much as it did me, but it hits home. Like, it's painful. Okay, here we are. Yeah, that's hilarious. That is such a funny joke to make fun of people who have killed themselves by hanging. Who thinks of this? And more importantly, let's take a look down here. 800, since this is when I screenshot it, and I screenshot it last Sunday. So 819 retweets, 1486 likes. I think they're just as bad for doing that. as the person who created this. Also, keep in mind, this is literally like 2 days after Chester committed suicide. Like this, I have no words. I don't even, it's not merchandise by any means, but this is the kind of stuff that is still going on in 2017, and this is why people do not take mental illnesses seriously, and it gets me very heated. As you can tell, I'm very upset at this kind of stuff. Let's go back to the cat for a second, because like I can't handle all this anger and rage. We're gonna have a cat intermission. Okay, here we go. It's so cute. It's so cute. What? Now before we go, I want to show you some mental illness merch that is good. Does it exist? You bet it does. This is by an Instagram I'll leave down below. It's called Green Box Shop. And this is one of their items. It says, psychosis is not an aesthetic. Amen. Another one, mental illnesses are not adjectives. Another amen. And in their description it says, I'm tired of seeing those Cupid Psycho shirts and hearing people say, oh my god, you're so OCD. Which there's so much of that still. Like I don't understand how people use OCD, bipolar, schizophrenia, like as adjectives. I really don't get it. Depressed, anxious, those are adjectives, but OCD, bipolar, those kinds of things are not adjectives. Another thing I want to point out before we go, YouTube, what are we doing with the ads on my video, on that last video? Are you gonna put them on this one too? They literally have mental illness merch as ads on that video. I'm so tempted to turn my ads off on that video. I won't make any money on it, who cares? There are just so many disgusting ads being put on that video because it's titled mental illness merch. I don't get it. You know how many times I get sent a screenshot or people comment, the ads on this video like are about this video, like, you know, it's just YouTube, we need to sort that out. So yeah, there's a lot of facets and ideas that go into this, and of course everyone has a different opinion, and if you want to share yours down below, please do. I ask that you be respectful. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not going to turn comments off or anything, but just be respectful of my opinion, and I will be respectful of yours and everyone else's in the comments. So please, feel free to share yours, and feel free. I never ask this of you guys because I hate it. It's so cringy. I just hate thumbs up this video, subscribe. I hate doing that, so I'm not going to. But I do ask that you share this with as many people as you can, and my last video, not my last video, my mental illness merch part 1 video, to help spread a little bit awareness of why people like me think that this stuff is wrong, because I think a lot of people just shrug it off as like, oh, they're just social justice warriors. Like, they're just so, like, they don't have a sense of humor. They probably don't have mental illnesses. They don't think it's funny. As someone who does have mental illnesses, not that that's anything, any relevance at all to the situation, I don't like these things, and I think it tells other people that it's okay to like these things, and I don't think it is. So that's my opinion. Please share this video if you agree with me. If not, please tell me why in the comments. Anyway, this video is long enough. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to my next couple videos. They're very exciting for me, and I think you guys are really gonna like them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.